To the first Howard University African Studies Palaver Series of 2011. And my name is Wheeler Winstead, and I am the coordinator for the Palaver Series. So we're all glad to have you here for this first session. Just a little bit about the Palaver Series. Palaver Series is an opportunity to discuss and be briefed by distinguished invited guests on the issues, activities, reports, actions, and policies affecting Africa today. It's also an opportunity for you to not only hear about these things, but also to engage with the presenter and your colleagues on these very important issues and to share your ideas. So in a real way, we really hope that not only that you're listening, but you're engaging. The end result is that we are hoping that you're more informed and that you are, not only that, you're committed to make a change in your community and in Africa. There are two basic venues for the Palaver Series. There are the main venues, and I think all of you should have a sheet like this in front of you. These are the main venues that we will be having in this particular semester. There are 6 different sessions. The first is today, and the last is on November 16th, where we'll be honoring Dr. Yang, and our guest will be Ali Mazrui. So we hope that all of you, if you are able to attend the other events. In addition to the presentations, there are 2 other things that are happening as a part of the Palaver Series. Each session is going to be written up in a summary, and is going to be on the website on the African Studies Mosaic website. In addition, each session is also going to be videotaped, and that's also going to be on YouTube and will be on the website, so that you'll be able to review these sessions later, use the information for your research, and also recommend to other students and scholars the information. I am going to now turn this over to Dr. Edgar, and Dr. Edgar is going to introduce our speaker. The speaker is going to speak, and then afterwards he's going to have some Q&A. However, if he would prefer, if you want the persons in the audience to interact while you're speaking, they can do it that way, or we'll wait until afterwards and have some Q&A. But we really hope that you would engage yourself in this great opportunity. We're very thankful to Dr. Hailu, Dr. Edgar, and Dr. Cham for making this opportunity available to us. So without anything else, I'll turn it over to Dr. Edgar, who's going to introduce our speaker, and we'll just start our session. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much, Wheeler. I'm very pleased that this Palaver Series for this academic year is starting off with an illustrious guest. I'd like to thank Wheeler and Alam Hailu for all the hard work they've put into organizing this series. And I'd especially like to thank Johannes Hailu, who has been instrumental in helping to secure the speaker, and it brings me to the recollection that several years ago I was talking with Johannes about possible dissertation topics, and I said to him, you know, I'm very curious about the Horn of Africa. We have so many things that have been going on there over the last several decades. The independence of Eritrea, wars between Eritrea and Ethiopia, the secession of the Southern Sudan. More recently, of course, we've been confronted with the drought and the famine that is taking place in Somalia, and actually throughout that region. And I said, but I'm very curious, because there are areas of the Horn that we don't know much about, but we hear interesting things coming out of them. And one of those places is Somaliland, where a very interesting experiment in nation building has been going on for the past several decades. And there are many interesting signals coming out of Somaliland about how to go about conflict mediation, how to create a viable multi-party system, so on and so forth. And I said to Johannes, maybe this would be a dissertation topic, and he's taken that and run with it. But as a result of that, I think many of us have become very curious about what is going on there. I know I have a series of questions I want to ask you as well. And so it gives me great pleasure that the Foreign Minister of Somaliland has made time to come visit us today. I was looking on the internet last night at just seeing where he has been over the last year or so, and it seems like you've been constantly traveling and giving talks and educating people about Somaliland. So I'd like to welcome our guest speaker today, Dr. Mohamed Omar, and he will be talking about the state of things in Somaliland. Please welcome Dr. Omar.
Thank you very much for that warm welcome. First of all, I would like to thank the University of Harvard University for giving me the opportunity to come here today and to talk to you about Somaliland and about the issues that are happening in the Horn of Africa, because Somaliland is part of that region. I also want to thank Johannes, who has dedicated his time studying into the issues of Somaliland and what it stands for. It is a great pleasure for us to have Johannes as one of the people who have a keen interest in studying Somaliland as a subject of his academic study. I'm trying to make a very brief outline about the issues in Somaliland, in the hope that we will engage a debate and questions. And please feel free to interrupt me or to raise issues as I speak. A bit of history, very briefly. Somaliland is a former British colony in Somalia. Somalis in the region have been divided into different parts during the scramble of Africa, when Africa was divided into different colonies. The Somali people have been divided into 5 parts. One was the north, which is current Somaliland. It was a British colony. And then the South Somalia was an Italian colony. And then you had Somali people who were under the Ethiopian, under Ethiopia. And then you had Djibouti, which is populated by Somalis, and it was a French colony. And you had a northern frontier district of Kenya, which is populated mainly by Somalis. So the Somali community in the region, Horn of Africa, have been divided into 5. And in 1960, when Somaliland, as the first Somali people who became independent, Somaliland tried to unite or to start the unification of all Somalis, wherever they are in the region. And Somaliland has embarked on what was called at the time a Greater Somalia Vision, which meant to unite all Somalis. So we started off uniting North and South. In other words, the British Somalis and the Italian Somaliland. And we formed what we call a Somali Democratic Government Republic in 1960. That was a voluntary union. On the 1st of July 1960, and after being, the idea was to unite all Somalis. So this union was a temporary and a means to an end. The end was to unite all 5 Somalis. But that search for a greater Somalia has become problematic. It has caused a lot of trouble in the region. There were bloody wars between Somalia and Ethiopia on 2 occasions, where hundreds of thousands of people lost their lives. There has been a constant tensions between Somalia and Kenya over the northern frontier district.